we can say that Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. is on track to win the state of Pennsylvania, become the 46th president of the United States.
A few moments later.
I think you're a queen. Can we have sex now? That's you, simp. Pathetic. Don't ever say nice to female.
A few moments later.
咁到話冇做咩咩？送到冇啊冇啊！咁都唔算咩咩咩？算咩咩咩？咁咩咩咩 ？Yeah, this guy right here. 咁都冇話咩咩 ？Stop slobbering all over yourself.
A few moments later.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering with a bit of reflection. If the electoral stays the way it is, it will be accelerating my biggest fear, and that is the deplatforming of independent news here on YouTube.
Got him! Got him!
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and I can't even believe I'm making this video. It's an amazing thing, and I am so happy that you're all here to enjoy it with me, because you all know, some of you email me specifically to look forward to when I get to say the word. You know, because it never ended, and it is the perpetual boogie person for many of those that grifted their way to fame, either on the negative side of it or on the positive side of it. And it just never ends for some people. And apparently President-elect Joe Biden will be addressing it directly. Now, I'm sure that this won't totally backfire. I'm sure that this totally won't result in the end of a lot of the free speech and freedoms we have here on YouTube as a platform. If you're watching this on BitChute or Odyssey, it probably won't affect it. But I'm sure this won't totally backfire. And honestly, nobody likes it. Even some people, as I'm going to show you on the far left, are concerned about it silencing their people. Now, President-elect Joe Biden has a plan, and it is to go after Gamergate. That's correct. You see, Movie Bob Productions, of course, the internet lolcow Movie Bob, has written the following statement. Lol, Biden's starting off agenda includes basically an anti-GG troll task force. Already winning. Imagine that. Imagine that. You can see, spoiler alert, there won't be. I love this galactic empire now. Yeah, this could not possibly be abused. Of course, it will be. Wonder if this will be used against somebody who advocates eugenics and rants about poor people. That, of course, relating to Movie Bob. Talk about a waste of taxpayers' money. I didn't know we were in 2014 again. It's ridiculous. And, of course, people will say, even, this is going to be used against our Super Soilgers fan as well. And let's take a look at the plan itself. Now, confronting online meanness. Technology brings with it new obligations and policy changes. Nearly half of all internet users reported people being mean to them online. The Biden administration will shine a light on the online meanness and talk about the now too frequent reality of experiencing that meanness for Americans, particularly, of course, young people and women. Joe, try being a dude on Twitter. Go look at any one of President Trump's tweets and tell me he isn't getting the most highest concentration of toxicity online. Now, Joe Biden recognizes that the culture change must extend to our online lives, whether it's clamping down on cyber meanness or obviously intimate partner digital meanness. let's take a look at some of the things that are totally not going to make YouTube and other online conversations less engaging and less productive. As president, Joe Biden will convene a national task force with federal agencies, state leaders, and advocates, law enforcement, and technology experts to study the rampant online sexual meanness, deep fakes, and the connection between this meanness and what? And of course, by the way, only against women. You know, bad behavior against women, even though they are not the ones that experience it anywhere near the numbers that men do. But that's whatever. The task force will be charged with developing cutting-edge strategies and recommendations for how a federal and state governments, social media companies, schools, and other public and private entities can tackle this unique challenge. So what we really have now on the federal level, so you know they're totally going to spend our money appropriately, bully hunters. Remember when Zombie Unicorn was relevant? And they had that whole fake bully hunters thing. That's what this is. That's what this is. On a federal level, the task force will consider platform accountability, transparent reporting requirements for incidents of meanness, and response and best practices. Let me translate this to you for how this is really going to work. YouTube is not going to shoulder any responsibility for this, right? So here's what really happens. They get a bunch of Karens together, pay them all $200,000 a year. Karens that have never played online video games, have never interacted in comment sections, and are just shocked and appalled, heavens to Murgatroyd, about the mean things people will say online. They will then develop lists of rules and things that are not okay in their 60-year-old opinions. It'll be just like back in the 90s and 80s when the government was way too interested in heavy metal music, and as it was a gateway to a dark path that certainly Tipper Gore needed to be involved in. They will then create restrictions and rules that platforms have to adhere to. But let me tell you something you already know. And by the way, if you haven't already clicked that like button, left a comment, please consider doing so now. Or if you haven't yet subscribed, there's a red subscribe button right below the video. If you're on YouTube, please consider clicking that today. They're going to pass all these rules down to platforms. What are platforms going to do? Do you think that they're going to defend us? Do you think that they're going to protect content creators? We don't need to go that far in the past to look exactly how they'll treat it. Remember COPPA? Remember how that affected tens of thousands of content creators completely destroying their channels? There were like Lego building channels, because if your hobby, if your content was all ages, you were getting lumped in with COPPA, and now you couldn't have comment sections on your videos. Your subscribers couldn't get notifications of your uploads, and your videos would not appear in the general YouTube search algorithm. Why? Because there was a federal mandate, and YouTube said, well, we're not going to take the time. We're not going to make the investment to make sure we make the right decisions here. We're just going to put some stupid blanket policy out there that's going to destroy the lives of creators all over the planet, so we don't have to shoulder any responsibility. The Biden administration will dedicate new funding to federal, state, and local enforcement officials for investigating and going after online meanness, while also supporting victims. I'm sure you know for a fact that people like Quinn and Sarkeesian are going to be stumping for jobs here, right? They're going to say, nobody knows what it's like to have people be mean to us online like we do. Please give us a job and pay us gigantic government salaries, and we'll tell you what the right opinions are and what opinions you're allowed to have on the internet. That's exactly how this is going to go down. Support federal and state legislator creating civil and criminal cause of actions for unauthorized disclosure of spicy photos. Well, that's actually something I would support. All right. you know, releasing someone else's images without their consent is a gray area. That's an easy win. This is shocking. This genuinely scares me. And people, you know, my critics will say, well, if you don't want to worry about it, just don't be mean. Don't break the rules. Yeah, because the rules here on YouTube are so transparent. They're just super transparent. We just know exactly what's okay and what's not okay at all possible moments on YouTube. Make no mistake about it. Over the weekend, there was a massive exodus from Facebook and Twitter, which I'm going to talk about in a separate video later today. I gained 50,000 followers I didn't even know on Parler. Alt tech is the future. Yes, we need to maintain a presence here on YouTube. We need to stay and fight and push back as long as we can. And you need to view content on a variety of sources. So I watch videos on BitChute. I watch videos on Odyssey. I watch videos here on YouTube. Different content I consume from different platforms. That's going to be the future, because certain content will just never be promoted on YouTube anymore. In fact, I've lost 2,000 subscribers since a week before the election, when YouTube rolled out some new algorithm that affected any channel that talked anything remotely political. I don't think that that's a coincidence. I don't think that that's going to get better. I think that that's going to get worse. So now more than ever, make sure you stay subscribed to your channels. Make sure you check the main channels to see if you're not getting notifications. You know, support alt tech, because like I predicted, I'm telling you that this administration is going to make things way more difficult online. You're going to see a massive fracturing. You're already seeing it on Twitter and Facebook. It's going to come to YouTube, and it's going to be paid for by your tax dollars. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.